Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Mohammed Al-Shamrani from the Saudi Electric Company. On behalf of my colleagues in our organization, I'd like to thank Bentley System for giving us this opportunity to present the achievements done in our engineering environment. Today, my colleagues will talk about the establishment of kingdom-wide EDMS, Engineering Document Management System, an SEC, Saudi Electric Company, which is considered the second largest company in Saudi Arabia and one of the biggest in the Middle East. And we will start with Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Hamid to take on this presentation, and I hope it meets your interest. Thank you again.
Good afternoon. Today we'll be talking about the establishment of EDMS at kingdom-wide at Saudi Arabia in our company. Our agenda will be talking about, first of all, about our country, then about the company, then we'll talk about the projects, challenges, and strategies, achievement, and benefits we got. There will be a small video on our company.
All over the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's territory of 2,250,000 square kilometers, ambitious plans are drawn and gigantic projects are carried out in every facet of economic activities. And that poses formidable challenges to the Saudi Electricity Company. The demand for electric power has steadily increased to 8% annually. Our responsibilities are enormous because we have to meet everyone's needs for safe and highly dependable supply of electricity services. And in the past 9 years, our achievements were staggering. 73% increase in power generation, 45% increase in transmission networks, 60% increase in distribution networks, 63% increase in the number of customers. And we have been able to extend electricity services to 4,200 new villages and hamlets. We have invested more than 160 billion Saudi riyals to accomplish these solid achievements. We have today 52 power generation plants producing more than 40,000 megawatts. Our grid also accommodates more than 6,000 megawatts generated by other producers. These are carried by power transmission lines running 43,000 kilometers and distribution lines stretching 360,000 kilometers to deliver power to 5,700,000 subscribers. They live in 11,800 towns, villages, and hamlets.
Okay. And what was our establishment? We were 14 smaller electric companies. We merged into one company in 2000. Power capacity is 41 megawatts. One of the largest electric company in the Middle East, and we produce 80% of the electricity in the whole country. as we saw in the video, we have 52 power plants and around 900 grid stations around the country. And we have more than 28,000 employees. And we divide our country into 4 regions, try to distribute project-wise around these 4 regions. What is the growth? As you saw in the video, we have since 2011 till today, 2012, almost 5% grow in the generation, and in the transmission it is almost 8%, while for the connections to customers almost 6%. And the villages 2.2% increase to become 1,200 villages and cities. What is our strategic or purpose of the project we are already trying to implement? Our strategy contribute achievement of overall mission of our company, SEC. Our company has 4 main missions: to provide customers with safe and reliable electric, to meet the expectations of the shareholders, and last 2 is care of employees and ensure optimum utilization of the resources. So we utilize project-wise in these 2 last missions. By consolidating the document at our company, and as you saw, we have a large city, a large country, which is 2.25 million square kilometers. So we want to achieve, one of the goals is to documentation, consolidate them in one technology, automation of documentation and the procedures, and standardizations, and increase reliability of the drawings and documentations, and finally establish a connectivity between employees and between departments and sectors. We have 3 areas of challenges, which is operational, technology, and data related. I'll go over each of them. Regarding the operational, as we said, we have large geographical area, and between cities you will have big desert sometimes, and you have to put your transmission lines and send your crews between these cities. Also, we have to convince the management of the new technology or this software, which is 12 years back. And we have different in each area. Since we merged 2000, we discovered that each area, they have their own different strategy, different symbolic, different procedure, and sometimes contradiction of these things. So, in the challenges in the technology, we have, as you know, different software. We have ProjectWise, we have others like Documentum and so on. And we have employees that resist to change. Some of them for personal purposes, and others it's just they don't want to change. They are relaxed to what they have. And we have multiple software maintenance contracts. After we merged, we discovered that we have at least 3 contracts. 2 with the ProjectWise, 1 directly with Bentley Systems, 1 with local vendor, and we have also with Documentum another contract. What do we have problems related to data? Maybe you know this, different media, we have different filing system, we have sometimes duplicate the same drawing with minor differences. We have documents that are already either obsolete or partially has been erased, or bad quality documents. And of course we don't have standards between all the areas, and organizational also is not consistent in between them. So what we did, we started saying, okay, let's do this. We know from human being that he doesn't want to change mostly, and he defend his own strategy that he has in his own city or his own previous small electric company. So we have to appoint one team that cover the whole area and cover the whole sectors in the company. Then we standardize on one software platform. We have to standardize. So this will help us also if we can shift some of the employees from one city to other city, it will be the same platform he was working on. Consolidate, as we said, we have at least 3 license contracts. So we are trying to consolidate them in one. Migrate all data to some standards. We'll talk about it because we have many standards. Depends on the electric company he was working with. Migrate all documents in 2 phases because it is multi-million documents. We cannot put them in one contract. So we separated the 12 years working. We put 8 contracts and have unified infrastructure for easy management. Bentley technology was chosen as a single platform, and actually we formed a technical team. They got and did the evaluation, and they decided to choose Bentley. Implementation and migration, as we said, through single contractor. We have 8 projects over 12 years. As the one who won the first project, we gave him all the remaining projects, because he knows our environment and he will continue converting to the new technology. Hardware clustering and virtualization. We did, as we will see, that we put clustered servers all over the 4 areas with the communication in between them. How we did this? We started first by transmission in the year 2000, and through 3 sub-phases, we went from central, then east, then west and south. In 2007, we shifted to generation, and through 5 sub-phases, we could convert a total of over 8 million documents with around 4,000 users. What is the result of achievement we gain? All documents are online, single source of truth, because sometimes if he has multi, he will say, okay, this one or that one. And all the employees, he trusts only the paper. So after he saw all the employees around him, so he got a single source of truth. It is what is in the system. We standardize on these 3 DGN, which is microstation format, PDF, and Microsoft Office documents. Also, we have a single single Bentley contract for the maintenance. And achievement through web interface, so all the users have an easy way to enter, standard one. He can get the information through training and through his colleague in the office. Also, one interface managing the system. I am from the IT sector, so this will help us that one system we can manage the whole documentation around the kingdom. One team to manage the system kingdom-wide. The assigned team will resolve the problems. Sometimes the problem will repeat in different areas, so we have to write a procedure on these problems so everybody will know how to solve it. These are the software we already implemented in the system. And benefits we gain, reduction in manpower, and as you are aware, in the manual use, it took 3 days. Now it's only a few minutes to get the map. Real estate, as you know that we have many cities with many different room for storage of the documentation and map. Now it becomes centralized one, and we get to utilize the spaces. Reduced in cost of communication between, no need for travel for our employee to go to that area to get a map or to get a document or specifications. And indirect benefits, user now trust the documents, safety for our employees because of the vast areas. They can from his air-conditioned office get the document. Documentation safety, no danger losing. We have a backup procedure so we can get it back again. Environment, contractor do not have to submit card copies. We stop the subcontractors. Please give it us in our format, either DGN, PDF, or Microsoft Office. Streamline procedures between all this, because we have collaboration between us as an IT and end user. They are sitting with us here now. We could streamline the procedures between them, between the areas, and between users and services we are providing. And better collaboration, as you said, since we, from our IT point of view, if you did a software or a system without including the end user, it will not succeed, it will fail. So from the beginning we started with our end user until we succeed doing this project. And finally, the possibility to integrate with other systems. This is the infrastructure, we said in the 4 areas. Integration, and your right, is the GIS Esri. We were having multiple GIS, so we also unify on Esri. So the first integration was between ProjectWise and Esri, is a contract that will end coming December. So all transmission people, they can access ProjectWise from within the GIS Esri. The remaining will be Bentley and asset management, SAP, BIM, and CMMS, and SharePoint. We are looking to make integration with them. And that's it. Thank you. If you have any question. Actually, our partner from Nahil, who took the heavy load of converting, and he can speak for us.
If you have any questions about the actual work, what we have done, because SEC was the user and they had given us the contract, and during these 12 years, the stakeholders, getting stakeholders on board, and always we had to prepare the next project, in advance. So we had to do the survey for them so that they could, and make them understand what are the benefits of being part of the system. Even though there was a mandate from the higher management, there was a resistance on the ground. So they used to find all kind of excuses, and nobody wants to give away that, that information which they were putting in their vaults actually. And not only the chain management, it was getting that info into the central storage was a big problem for us. So, and whatever we learned in the previous project, we used to apply, that there was always a learning curve, and a lot of improvements were being requested, and we had to also give our expertise, to make sure that the system is refined and made usable for other systems, other users.
So I'm going to cheat and take the first question myself. One of the things that impresses me on this project is that you had the large scale of spanning a whole country. You had the large scale of 4,000 people and many, many documents. Yes. But you also had 14 different companies that came together. Each had
Yes.
their own standards and cultures and everything else,
yes.
or corporate cultures or so forth. And then the last one is you have this span of time, many years of doing this. How did all of that go together? What was the biggest impediment to getting collaborative or getting bringing things together in a sequence over time at that scale?
See, first we started with one department who had a lot of documents, and they were trying to maintain their procedure. They're not even looking for. When we contacted SEC, we found the need for having all these documents online. We sold a scanner. That was the beginning, before 2000. It was before this actual project started. It took 2 years for us to convince them, to make them have a budget for this and then implement a system. And while that was a separate company at that time. So we were known to SEC, and when SEC was established, we were known to SEC as the Bentley people. And another region, they were already standardized on SEC because it is an eastern region closer to Aramco, which is Arabian American oil company. So they were already standard on microstation. So those two streams came together. So when this was established and when they decided to go for a full-scale project, they had a contractor which was ready, and there was a department which was using microstation already. So there was the synergy there. And then, we took one project, we rolled out the transmission department into another region. And when we finished that, we had to start beating our drums, for the next department. So that, we had to publicize it and bring people on board. And then, they saw the benefits. They visited these regions to see what exactly the system was. So people used to come from all the way from west to east, or west to central. The south used to come, and they wanted to see the system, basically. And they wouldn't allow, even the IT wouldn't allow us to install the software onto the system unless, it's bureaucratic procedure, basically. So there were multiple levels. It was not just asking them to plug in.
So in a scenario like that, of course, the first one is the hardest one, right?
Yes, and we had that advantage,
right?
Because there was a department who were excellent. There were Mr. Adnan Al-Mulhim is here. He's the divisional manager of standards and specifications of Saudi Electricity Transmission Department. So they were already standardized, and when we joined together, we took a project to upgrade the software, microstation, the ProjectWise, and and both had the will to go, and the management said, go ahead. And that was the things actually which helped us.
Great.
Rick Duursma of the city of Haarlemmermeer, Schiphol area in Holland, where you are coming from with the plane. How do you manage the duration of the documents? You are so many documents on a single point of in a single place. How do you keep them over a long time of years?
You mean hard copy or digital?
No, hard copies. Once we go to a power plant, for example, a facility, we tell them that once we finish, hard copies will not be used anymore. So that when the users, who used to keep a copy for themselves, that was the first thing we told them is, there is a plan, okay, a layout. Each engineer used to have his own role. They would never give it to anyone else. They don't trust each other, actually. So we told them this is going to go. So they have to give it up. And then before we complete the project, the final day, when this goes live, all the papers have to be removed. And they knew this is coming, they always made sure that their document was there. And what kind of security you're going to put there. So that's how we brought it to the single source of truth, basically. And all the hard copies were shifted to a central store. So they will not see it again. And those rooms were converted to conference rooms, or, huge ones. Yes.
I have two questions. The first one is, would you please explain briefly how the collaboration between SAP and ProjectWise was in your company done? And the second question, have you had any difficulties with the language?
We all speak Arabic.
Yeah, but was the ProjectWise software in Arabic or in English?
No, it's English.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, were the user having...
Because all our engineers, they all speak English.
Okay.
The users are all engineers, so they speak Arabic. Saudi Arabia, they speak good Arabic, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
And
sorry, good English. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the technical level between...
Yeah, between the SAP and the project.
No, everything is in English.
No, I would like to know how your company have managed the collaboration between the SAP, the SAP, and the ProjectWise.
See, SAP implementation, not yet done. SAP implementation is going on. At this level, what we have done is, they are implementing the power plant, the hierarchy of the power plant, the equipment, the systems and everything. So we are organizing the documents according to that hierarchy now. Earlier everything was according to volumes. So we are splitting these documents and giving the path of the document to the SAP team, so they will link it to that hierarchy. That is the only thing we have done until now. Okay, and even GIS is still going on, it's not yet finished. And when in the GIS, we are going to give the link of the document, which can be linked to the facilities or the symbols in GIS. We are not doing workflow, we are not doing any technical. Our main task is to bring the kingdom into one place. There are so many different softwares. Documentum, there were some departments were using Documentum. It took us 4 years to convince them to move to ProjectWise. Okay, so the main thing was to roll out the whole thing and to bring everything on the place. So we don't boast about heavy workflows or any technical, but ProjectWise, right from the ground, when we started scanning and locating the documents, it was a tool for us as a contractor also. So we used to build the organization structure, use the dummy documents, find the documents and link them up. So not only, after implementing in the design workflow, it's gathering the documents, which was very helpful to us. And the export-import tools is a very good tools, developed by Bentley. We were planning to write a tool at the time, and Bentley says, no, we have a tool ready-made for you. So we use that to upload those existing documents, the backlog, and even the new contractors now use an Excel template to fill in the data, and then we just import it into the system.
So a question, so you're using ProjectWise now across all of the 4 districts in the whole country, and am I hearing you use 20,000 people in the system? Is it, how many people are accessing?
4,000 people.
4,000 people.
4,000 people accessing, and 85% approximately are viewers. They don't have rights to it.
So are you also are you using it for both projects that are under construction and work that's being done, and also for the existing systems for maintenance work and repairs?
Yes.
So it's an operational as well as a
exactly,
construction.
Yes. There is a generation projects department and transmission projects department, or the daily correspondence, daily transmittals, and everything is maintained in ProjectWise. We're still not using transmittal services, but that is a very great product SEC is looking at.
I think we can squeeze one more if there is one. No? All right. Well, thank you very much.